Hi guys, hello and welcome to this channel. So my name is Milan and I created Fly and Flourishing. I am a Reiki Grandmaster and this channel is just going to be talking about different things that go with Reiki, energy healing, holistic healing, spirituality, our spiritual journey, just really our spiritual wellness and well being. Because when we're spiritually well, it plays into all other facets of our life, our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our professional health, so on and so forth. So I'm excited to do this. Some of you, if my face looks familiar, you may remember me from, I had a blog and also a YouTube channel called A Girl Can Mac, where I talked about all things beauty and natural hair, and eventually towards the end of my Girl Can Mac days, I had incorporated a little bit more of lifestyle in there. So it was a wild ride. I was a natural hair blogger for about 10 years and it was great. So now I've moved into this space of wellness and just holistic care because it's important and it really does trickle down into all other areas of our life. So I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. So I am 35 years old. I'm a Scorpio, so I'll be 36 this year. Woot woot. And I've been practicing Reiki for 2 years now. I have known about Reiki and have been a recipient of Reiki for maybe close to 10 years. I've known about Reiki and experienced Reiki on my own for a while. And to share a little bit of my journey with you, so around 2017 is a time that was very stressful for me. There were a lot of things going on in many areas of my life. And of course, a lot of times when that happens, it eventually does affect our physical health and well being. So that's what happened to me. Went for a routine checkup and got some startling news that thankfully wasn't anything bad, but it was definitely a big wake up call for me. And I knew at that time, in that instance, that I had to find healthy ways to relieve stress and find some peace, or that scare was going to be something more serious down the road. And what happened is I remembered my times of doing Reiki before and just how much peace and calm and just a lot of clarity that it brought me. And at the time, my schedule was all over the place. So it was really tough for me to schedule an appointment with a Reiki practitioner. So the idea just came to me. I wasn't really searching for it. It came to me and said, well, maybe if you just learn how to do Reiki yourself, you can give Reiki to yourself when you need it, when you need to find that peace and that quiet and that clarity. So that's how it all started, and I learned and I became what we call attuned, or some people also say initiated, to Reiki, the traditional, well, I won't say traditional, but it's the Usui system, which most people, when you are first attuned, initiated to Reiki, that's the system that you learn first. And then after there are many different types of Reiki systems, different energy frequencies, but that's usually the prerequisite to learn the others. So at first, I was just learning Reiki for myself. It was really just a healthy way for me to relieve stress, relax, and just cope with certain things that were going on in my life at that time. And it was very, very helpful for that. It was very healing, very calming, and I pretty soon found myself in a much better place spiritually, emotionally, and physically, really all the different facets of my life. And I was really thankful for that. And what happened is, the better that I began to feel, the more I felt compelled to share this with other people. So when you become, there's 3 different levels to Usui Reiki system, and the third level is the master teacher level. So when you're at the master teacher level, that means that you can you can actually start practicing Reiki on others at level 2, but at level 3 means that you can teach other people Reiki and initiate them into becoming Reiki practitioners, either for themselves or for others as well. So I ended up just going up to level 3 because the course I was taking, it went through all 3 levels. And once I got to level 3 and really began practicing consistently on myself and just noticing how my energy and my vibration had elevated so much, I had to share it with other people. And so I started with family and friends, and it just branched out from there. And a lot of times people would just find me through word of mouth, from referral from family and friends, and Fly and Flourishing came about. So the name Fly and Flourishing came about simply because I started feeling better, and I said, everybody deserves to feel fly and be flourishing. And it really got me to thinking that, wellness and self-care, these are things that I think are basic human rights, basic human things that we should just have access to. It shouldn't be a matter of if you can afford it or not. It shouldn't be a privilege, it's a birthright, and it's just something you get to have access to simply because you're alive. And I think that a lot of people would do more positive and productive things in our lives if we had more ways to balance ourselves. So that's how Fly and Flourishing came about, is I simply want to see everybody fly and flourishing. It's really very simple, because I think happy people can create so much more than people that aren't happy. So Reiki doesn't solve all of our problems, but it definitely is it's a supportive thing for us. So I know the next question is, for some people, is what is Reiki? And I know a lot of people are probably starting to hear a lot about it. So I'm going to break it down really simply in this video, since this is just my introduction to doing videos again. So Reiki is an energy healing system that is used to promote stress relief, relaxation, and it also helps balance the chakras. If you're familiar with the 7 main chakras in our body, they're different energy centers that affect different organs in our bodies and different facets in our life. So for example, the third eye is right here, where like the pineal gland is. And so the third eye is all about our intuition and just being in tune with what I like to call our higher selves, or other people refer to as our inner being. So anytime you get a gut feeling that something is right or isn't right, that's your third eye. That's you being connected with, your intuition. It's telling you different information that you don't really have proof, but you just have a feeling, And anybody who has ever had a hunch or a gut feeling will tell you that you don't always know in that moment, but then usually later down the line, you get some sort of information or confirmation that you had picked up on something earlier, and it did happen. So Reiki helps balance those different energy centers, because when our energy centers are balanced, we feel like ourselves. We feel happy, we feel safe, we feel secure, we feel confident on ourselves, we feel creative, we feel all those amazing things, that we like to feel. We feel good overall. So Reiki helps with that. So how does this work? So the practitioner is what we call a conduit for the Reiki to come through. So Reiki is connecting us to the universal life force energy of all. So it's the energy that makes up everything, that makes up you, that makes up me, animals, electricity, anything. Everything around here is energy. So the Reiki connects us to all of that, because we're all connected to this same energy, right? Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. It can only shapeshift and change into something else. So what Reiki does is it balances all that, and it just helps us feel more connected to everything. It's why when you go to a park a lot of times and you come home, you feel at peace, you feel rested because you feel connected to that. You feel like you're a part of that. And that's what Reiki is always doing, is bringing us back to feel connected and at peace and feel grounded. So that's that. As far as a session, what does a session look like? So there's two different ways that you can receive Reiki. You can receive Reiki in person, and you can also receive Reiki from a distance. So a Reiki session in person, you usually are laying down on a massage table on your back, and you close your eyes, and the practitioner, what they will do is Reiki flows through practitioner's hands, and so they will either hover their hands over different parts of your body, or they may actually touch different parts of your body. It has to do with your permission. So if you're okay with the practitioner, touching your shoulders or your knees, they will. If you're not, then they can just hover their hands over. And so what they're doing is they're using the healing energy that flows through their hands to balance the different chakras and the meridians. These are all different energy centers in your body, because our bodies are all made up of energy, right? So that's what a session looks like, and they can last anywhere from, it really depends on the practitioner's offerings. They could be 30 minutes, it could be 60 minutes, 45 minutes. It just depends on the practitioner. And that's an in-person session. You just get to lay there and relax and let the practitioner do their thing. A lot of times they'll move around your body, hovering their hands or placing their hands in different areas to just, again, help balance any imbalanced chakras or underactive chakras that need to be opened or sometimes closed if your chakras are overactive, which I can talk about that in another video about chakras being overactive or underactive. So that's an in-person session. A distance session. So a lot of people may have heard of Reiki but have never known that you can receive it from a distance. And it goes again to the knowledge that energy transcends time and space, right? Energy is formless. It can move through time, space, anything. So with that knowledge, it is not uncommon that Reiki can be received from a distance. So this means I am here, I'm based in New York City in Brooklyn, but if I have a client that is in South Africa and we do agree on a time to have a session, I can channel Reiki for that person in South Africa, and they will feel it because energy transcends time and space. I don't need to physically be in the same place as that person for them to feel it. So distance sessions are great if you, in my case, don't live in Brooklyn or don't live in the greater New York City area, or simply if your schedule won't allow for an in-person. You get to be in the comfort of your own home or somewhere else that is comfortable and relaxing for you. So I have a lot of clients actually in New York City who primarily do distance sessions with me simply because they can be in the comforts of their own home or somewhere else. And it is just as effective. So I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. They both are very effective and they both have the same intention and do the same thing. So distance is great because also I can, as a practitioner, I can send Reiki to multiple people at the same time, and everybody will feel it, and they could all be in different places. So one of the events that I do actually do, and I have to start them back up, I was doing them once a month, were Reiki Healing Circle calls. And that's where it's a group Reiki session, distance session, and we will all get on the phone. We have a quick chat. I like to do a light meditation first just to get us relaxed so that we are better receptors for Reiki. And then we would do the session from a distance. And again, these sessions, people that join the call are from all over the country and all over the world sometimes. And everybody feels it and has different positive experiences with it. So I'm trying to think of what else I want to put in this intro video. I would love for you guys, if anyone's watching just yet, to leave comments if you have questions or any things that you would like to know about Reiki. I am here and I want to share this beautiful gift with as many people who are willing to. Reiki is for everybody. It doesn't matter anything about your gender, your race, your ethnicity, your religion. Reiki is not a religion, so you don't have to, it doesn't conflict with anybody's religious beliefs. All Reiki wants to do is support us and support our emotional, spiritual, physical, mental. It just wants to support our health and our well-being. The other thing about Reiki is that it is not a medical practice, so it does not take the place of you seeing a doctor. So if a practitioner ever tells you, you know, you need to take this or you need to stop doing that, you need to be a little bit hesitant and alarmed, because I am not a trained medical professional. I did not go to medical school, so I would never tell anybody to stop any medical care that they have. I would never. You as a person, it is your body. You can always make those decisions, but as a practitioner, it is never my place to tell you what to take. I will never diagnose anything, prescribe any medication, or give you any type of medical advice. But what Reiki does do is it does support our medical health and our medical care. So whatever you're doing in that realm for yourself, Reiki is always going to support that. So just remember that. A practitioner is not a doctor. We do not go to med school, so we cannot make diagnosis. We don't prescribe medication, and we don't give medical advice. So I'm trying to think if there is anything else. I know that there are a lot of questions. Reiki can be sent to anything, so not just people. Reiki can be channeled for animals. Reiki can be channeled for plants, for different situations in our life. Also, pregnant women are totally safe to receive Reiki. Again, it's all a supportive energy, health, holistic health care. So they're okay. And I'm trying to think if there is anything else. This video is getting kind of long and I'm just rambling, but I hope that it was informative. And if you are interested, please subscribe and continue to leave comments and let me know what you want to see. Let me know what your questions are. I love to talk about Reiki. I love what it does, what it's done for me, what it's done for others, and it can help. It can help any of us with anything if we are in a place that we want to feel better and we want to live optimally and we want to live our best lives. So that is it, guys. I can't believe I am doing videos again. I didn't think that I would. So this is going to be a journey, so bear with me. Eventually, the surroundings around here will be, I guess, maybe a little bit more professional. But I don't want this to be some frilly frou-frou big type of production, because it really is just about the wellness and about answering questions and just us getting better. So we're going to do it together. And yeah, so I would say stay tuned. If you want to learn more about me, my practice, you can visit my website, which is www.flyandflourishing.com. I'll also leave this information and any of my social media handles down below in the description box so that you guys can follow along however you will. And that is it until the next video. So I'm not sure how often I'll do videos. I'm gonna probably commit to at least one per month, and we'll see how it goes. The more interactive everybody is and the more questions or things that people have, I'll hop on here a little bit more often. But for now, look out for at least one video per month for me talking about all things Reiki, energy healing, and just wellness and well-being, because it doesn't have to be an expensive thing. It's not something for the wealthy. It's something for all of us. And so maybe that will be one of my next videos, is just to show people low cost or free things that you can do that are considered self-care and really do help reset us, rebalance us, and really help ground us, because that's important. I think a lot of people think self-care is being able to go to a spa or, go on an international trip. And while those are great forms of self-care, those are not the only forms of self-care. There are definitely other things that you can do that do not have to cost that much and are just as effective, and you can practice them whenever on your own. So, all right, this video is 20 minutes. It was not supposed to be this long. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you on the next video. Love and light.